Good morning, it's Toshiba here with the Joyful Warrior Homeschool, and I'm just going to show you a little flip through of a new grammar curriculum that I'm checking out through Guest Hollow. And this is just the student packet, and as you can see, it is, I don't know, like 400 pages or maybe a little less than 400 pages. I just decided to change the way that we were doing things this year, and I think I've said in a previous video that I'm trying to get into the Charlotte Mason method and doing more fun things. And so I saw this on Facebook one day and I decided to order it to try it out for my kids. It was only $40 for the packet of student pages. This is a workbook and it's supposed to be Charlotte Mason like and hands-on. And so we're gonna try it out. So you can see it's also only through PDF, which I was a little leery about because I like things bound. If you've seen when I use the Good and the Beautiful, or even Matthew C, I have everything bound when it comes loose. Even if it has a spine, I'll have it bound. And with this one, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm gonna have sections of it bound. So I've gone through this last night just to check it out. And so this whole part here, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Is the table of contents. So I'll let you get a look at what it covers. So here's what it covers if you want to pause and look at that. Mostly the 8 parts of speech and reinforcing and reiterating. And Jennifer Guest is the person who came up with it. I don't know why. I really love the name Guest Hollow. I don't know. Something about Hollow reminds me of Gilmore Girls. Anyway. So it really just goes over the 8 parts of speech and other things that encompass grammar. And there are lots of hands-on activities, which my kids really love to cut and paste and glue and all the things that mommy doesn't really like to do. They do enjoy that. And so moving with their rhythm, I decided to get something more hands-on. Like I said, pause this if you'd like to see, but this is everything that it covers. And even though seemingly with all the pages, this is contrary to Charlotte Mason's, busy work type of deal, but I'm guessing it's more thorough because the kids actually get to go a little bit more in depth. And there's only actually a few worksheets that they do a day, maybe 2 or 3, sometimes 1, but there's a lot. There's even diagramming sentences in this. Actually, I visited a Classical Conversations and they use IEW, and this reminded me a lot of some of the activities that they did when I visited one of their classrooms. Here's an introduction letter, and so I've kind of sectioned it off. As you can see, this first group here, first, introduction was telling you about what you were going to get, and then here's the first week of school, or the first day, and I put them all in a section so that'd be easier. And there's a story, you could read through the story. And she created this, and Beowulf is the dog, and it's called Beowulf Grammar. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Beowulf Grammar by Jennifer Guest. And it's so that it would be interactive and fun. And this is actually the story of the author's real dog and how then the fictional story continues, I guess, with some real things happening. And created by a homeschooler who's homeschooled for 20 years. And so you get to find out the story of Beowulf and how he is great at grammar or reading a grammar book. You can see here, and how his story came to be, and then the kids get to narrate about that. And I just think it's kind of cute that they get little comics in here that they can read themselves. This is for 2nd to 6th grade is what it indicates here. You can see one of those hands-on things that I'll probably print out on cardstock for them whenever I do. And then see, it's kind of very crafty oriented. Here are the parts of speech and a little example of what to do with that. I do like this one will probably be laminated. I made notes sometimes on the back of how many copies to make of this, and you do get a download. So there's that. Little charts and things that are colorful my kids will love. And then it starts with the parts of speech. So those is just a little example of what each page in this section looks like. See, I like that one too. I'll probably print that one on some cardstock so you can place I think this is a noun one where they place it in the treasure box. I'm trying to keep it as organized as possible, which is one of the reasons I don't normally order PDF things, but I think we're going to do a lot more of that this year. It's very cost effective also. And I also planned on using the logic of English for phonics because I have a son who's dyslexic and the kids love the game. So here's a recipe of nouns. I like the verbiage because it's different than, and my kids love to cook. And so this one, they get to fill in the blank. This one reminds me kind of Mad Libs. This is just of the previous things that they learned so far, but then also it encourages you to let them write their own recipe with the same concept. And my kids love to cook and make recipes, so I thought that was cute. And then I sectioned everything off by the week and how many copies, and then plural nouns. And here's a cool picture they'll get to color, just only coloring the plural nouns. Very simple but fun activities, and my kids really do like crossword puzzles and fill in the blanks. And not everybody's a huge fan of the fill in the blank, but you get what I'm saying. The pages are not overwhelming. That's one thing I also like about it. This was my favorite activity. Actually, because of this sheet, I bought the whole curriculum based on this sheet because I could see us laminating this and using this all the time for other things, not just a pronoun pizza, but I actually thought I'd take it a step further and use maybe a preposition pizza. And I just really liked the template. Probably could have made it myself, but not that kind of girl. I really liked that one, that this was hands-on. My kids love to cut and glue. This one was a flower one, pronouns they could make, and my daughter will love that. I just like the formatting of it. I like that nothing is overwhelming on the page, and it's not 25 things of how to choose the adjectives, and then after we do those 25 things, somehow they forget. So I like, if you're wondering how I printed all this, I have the HP, what is it called? Instant ink, and so only paying $9.99 a month to print all of this was not so bad. I think I ended up paying maybe 11 or 14 or something, I can't remember, to print this one all. But here's the pronoun packet, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And I love that they teach the kids about dialogue. I mean, my kids will be in 3rd and 4th grade. The 4 that are using this, 2 sets of twins, will be the ones using this. And I'll continue to use Logic of English for phonics. And we mostly are going to play the games because we are almost done with D for the 2nd grade twins. We're not quite done with D, but we're going to be moving on to, since I already have it, and this year I'm trying to work on using the resources that I already have and not buying unnecessary things. And so, because again, I do consider this not that expensive, because the Logic of English for all the stuff we got for essentials was over $300, and we got it for my eldest who is dyslexic, and it really helped him. But there's wonderful games. There's just so many games that come with it, and my kids beg to play the games with their siblings, the ones who don't use the program. And so I thought, why not continue to utilize it for all of my kids? So we'll do phonics, and Logic of English is 1 page a day, so that'll be what we do for phonics to keep that going for my son who's dyslexic. And I'm not gonna probably make him do all of these or do a little bit of writing for him, because that's not his strong suit at this point. And I'm talking about the youngest. My eldest wants to do this with us because he likes everything hands-on and writing stories and things, but I just like that there's so many different things to do, and you don't have to do them all. She says that you can choose 3. There's a 5-day week where you can choose 3 that are mandatory, and the other 2 are just extra for review. And I like that. I actually don't mind giving my kids options to do different worksheets, since they're all 4 doing school together this year. I want my older ones to feel, or the older set of twins to feel like they don't have to do exactly what their younger twins are doing, because they are a year older. They're like 18 months older, but they are a grade ahead. And so, they're a grade ahead of them. So I want them to feel like this would be something that they would do, but then they're not babies. We call them the babies. And then the babies would be able to do more of this one, where it's cards that you make and you can laminate them. So, and like this one, I like when they can find the parts of speech and circle them. They love using colored pens and pencils, and that's how I imagine that these exercises will go. When it first printed, I was like, what have I done? This is a lot. This is not, sorry, I don't want to organize all the work I put into this. But now that it's all printed and I went through everything, the teacher's manual I'll go through in another video. I haven't printed it yet because I wanted to work through things one at a time. It's just the way my mind works. Trying to compartmentalize all of what. Anyway, we're really excited to do this. When my kids saw me printing it out, they were very excited. And every single one of them asked, is this for me? Is this for me? I think it's just the coloring alone. They really like this. And these, I love these because these can be put in sheet protectors and referenced. I'm trying to get past the having school at home, you know, a Becca type of approach to things. And this is just one way that we're doing it, trying to open it up for a little more critical thinking and fun, because my kids are all about, I mean, what kids aren't about fun? But I mean, I don't believe I was a very fun kid, because I would have loved these worksheets and even all the other, my daughter and my middle sons are doing a Becca, and she really liked it at first because it was a grade ahead of her and blah, blah, blah. But now she's like, work booked to death. And so that's another reason that I'm thinking about not spiraling this, because I don't want them to have the mentality, because it's really fit. So actually what I was going to do is do 9 different spiralings of each month of what we do, because it'd be a short workbook that they could complete. But I haven't decided yet. Tell me your thoughts of what you do when you get loose pages other than spiraling or comb binding. I don't know. I am not a fan of, as of now, they have all their binders from we used before. Sorry, I'm just rambling on. But they have all of their binders, so I'm thinking about just 3-hole punching a lot of things and making a binder. But I hate loose papers. And so if I could keep up with, you know, 4 children's things, because my eldest will be attending the hybrid school, and that will be awesome. But I don't know. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's hard for me to keep up with loose papers. The first year of Rebecca, when we homeschooled, I tore all of the things out trying to follow this method on, you know, it's a very popular method, and I loathe the outcome. I did not like having those loose papers because quite a bit got lost in the shuffle. You have to be really on top of that kind of thing, and I am not. Well, I thought I was until there was 5 people's things. And anyway. Linking verbs. My kids are doing this now in Rebecca. And this is actually a really thick week. I think, oh no, maybe I put some weeks together. I was like, what happened here? Trying to make, so I ran out of paper clips. This is the only school supply I ran out of course, the moment that I needed them. So then I just kind of sectioned them off this way. But I'm gonna go get some paper clips today so that I could reinforce these and keep things separate from my mind. And you can see like this little method, not a method, where I just took some tabs and tabbed off weekly what we needed to do in a week. And actually this is not a lot for a week. There's like 2 sheets a day that they do, and there's a lot of dialogue. And my kids love those little dialogue bubbles, especially when they get to create with them and make conversation. I think that's cute. Anyway, and they like animals. They love that this is about the dog and Beowulf. And there's, here you can see one of the review pages. So there are like, you'll see in the next video, I know I'm doing it kind of out of order, but the teacher's copy will tell you what to do. And the teacher's copy is like almost 2 to 4 of each of these sheets, and then directions on this side of what you need to say. And it's not scripted. It just gives you ideas of how to follow along. They're kind of self-motivating type of sheets where they can understand. Like here you can see if you can tell what the verbs in bold text are. Circle whether each one is a helping verb or a linking verb. And so that's really self-explanatory because they will have learned about it over here. And this is a review. And so they have about, it's 33 weeks, so it gives you some flexibility. I like that because when we do 36-week programs, we always end up about 30 weeks. And something happens around Christmas and spring break and summer break that we don't quite finish those. And so I have gone this year, you'll notice in our science curricula, I've gone with curriculum that is not a 36-week program, so that it takes us, so it gives us some extra wiggle room to do hands-on activities and field trips and things of that nature, because whenever we're so tight on time, I don't like to be rushed. It's actually one of the things I don't like the most, is being rushed, especially rushing through activities that they really need to learn. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, I haven't started to use it yet, but so far I like what I'm seeing. It's beautiful. I really do love it. Like I said, I haven't decided if I was gonna have it bound because there's so many activities that they need to work on. And so, you know, binding it would be counterproductive to having to rip out every page, or not necessarily rip out, but like the things you have to cut out. I don't know. I need to pray about that. I have no idea. So, I think their website is just www.guesthollow.com. They do have a Facebook community that you can join and see. It's very low key. It's not a whole lot of, it's not like some of the larger ones like you would see with like sunlight in those, but this is what it looks like. I'm not going to go through all of it because if you go on their website, you can see some samples, but I really needed to get in hand. I really do love the diagram and sentences part. Becca does have this in the older grades. My kids are in 2nd and 3rd this year, so next year they'll be 3rd and 4th. But I like the simple way they explain it. It's the same way that they do in IEW as well, but this just looks so much easier to tackle and handle and not overwhelming. You guys know that I love the good and the beautiful, and I've done a video on how I use the good and the beautiful. Not very specific, but just so you guys know, I'm not dropping it, but I use the good and the beautiful as a reading fluency program because I don't love the order of the grammar steps for my kids. It's a little too abstract for all of them. My daughter does fine with it, but my boys, they don't. They need something more concrete. Okay, I love this because my eldest really needs help. I don't know if you can see that. So this is a bingo game, and there's like 20 pages of different bingo, preposition bingo. And the free space is not always in the middle. Like, I totally, like, we're going to do this all the time. I can't wait till we get, and this is a matching thing. My son has the hardest time, again, you know, he's dyslexic, but he has the hardest time with remembering the prepositions and the prepositional phrases. And we did IEW, which is wonderful. Not IEW, I should say, which specific thing. We did Fix-It Grammar, which I really loved for him. But the preposition packet in this alone is like worth the $40 because I have a dyslexic that's the eldest and my youngest is also. I know that this is the hard part for him. He gets the ly adverb, he gets all that, but prepositions are like the bane of our existence. And this video is getting long and I wanted it to be less than 10 minutes and we're already at 15. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, you know how I am if you've watched me for any length of time, that I'm a bit of a rambler and I haven't made a video in a little while. So I thought I would just let you see what we're going to be doing for language arts this year. You guys know me. I mean, this is what we're doing now, and for sure. I mean, this is for sure because it saved us a lot of money, and that wasn't the goal originally. I just really liked how colorful it was and how hands-on it is. As much as I don't love, you know, specifically, I don't love hands-on, my kids do. It's not my teaching style, but it's definitely a part of their learning style. And so go ahead and check out their website. They have lots of hands-on. They have science and they have history and other things, but we're going to start here and see how this works for us. Again, I love how beautiful it is. My kids have been drawn to it, and these are all review sheets. So this is the thing I was telling you about earlier, where after there's about 3 days worth of work in here. So this is like in my mind a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is not the way they do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday work that they're going to do. And then on the Tuesday, Thursday is probably when I'll do these reviews. They have it the other way, but this isn't the way our week works because I volunteer at church on Thursday mornings and they have music on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Thursdays are not going to be our day to do like instructional work. It'll be our day to do review for us. And so this will be what we do during car schooling and things of that nature. And I just love this. Like, look how much review you have after already having learned a skill set, and then you get a review sheet to work on. I love the fanboys. I love the color of the fanboys. I'm probably going to make 1,000 copies of this for my, okay, sorry, I missed it. But if I find it again, there's a fanboy that they make a fan out of it. My son loves that. He loved that in IEW, and he kind of forgets it from time to time. So anyway, if you like what you see, this is by Jennifer Guest, and here is Beowulf's Grammar. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments below. Not that I have answers, but I could probably flip through and show you because we haven't started to use it yet. So thanks a lot for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.